There's a lot of things that I remember about my grandmother's kitchen, and the food was 95% of it. Things as simple as egg salad, the fresh eggs that we had every day. There was nothing pretentious about it, just a few simple ingredients that made it special. And it's still to this day the way that I make my egg salad. Only two ingredients, a little salt and pepper. You know, it's the simple things that we tend to really remember and that stays with us. We're only going to be using just a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper to your taste. I'm going to be using about a fourth of a cup of mayo and just a squirt of mustard to 4 eggs. And that's as simple as it gets. I do like my egg salad to be moist. I don't like it on the dry side. So sometimes you may have to add just a little more mayo to it to get it to where you like it. You can add any spices to it that you want. You can add any other ingredients that you want. But this is my egg salad that I grew up with, and it's what I love the most. It's a little dry, so I'm going to add about a tablespoon more of mayonnaise, and that should be perfect. Not only is egg salad good, but it's very, very frugal. I mean, when you can't afford anything else to feed your family, if you've got eggs or chickens, you can afford the egg salad. To me, there's just nothing any better, except when you make it on and serve it on homemade bread. I like my egg salad pretty thick, and I like my bread pretty thin. Reminds me so much of my grandmother's kitchen. Homemade egg salad. The little cabin that the Mennonites built, which means little rooms too. These little rooms, like my bedroom, are small, according to most people in their homes. But my little bedroom is like a big hug to me. When I come in at night to relax a little before going to bed, it's cozy and quiet. A nice place to relax. My style of decor is most primitive, colonial, and a little bit on the fun side of boho. And most anything that you see in my little cabin has either been made, gifted to me, or from a flea market. And if I was blessed enough, it come from a genuine antique store. I don't tend to play on colors being the same, textures being the same. When colors fade, they become beautiful. When flowers dry, they become beautiful. It fascinates me that we tend to move away from the old, from things that seem to either chip away or fade and are not perfect anymore. And most people want to move away from it, when I tend to lean towards it. When we can start to embrace, when things start becoming a different version of themselves. This idea of neatness and everything being in order. We can look beyond what they were before and appreciate them in their new state. Just because something has changed with age doesn't mean that it has less to offer. My little cabin has helped me so much to evolve and become who I really am, which is an old soul, very nostalgic. So things that you see in my cabin are a reflection of who I am and my roots. The colors that I choose to stay with right now in my bedroom, even with winter coming on, I do have darker color bedspreads. I'm just not feeling it right now. So I'm staying with the mustard colored bedspread with the pretty pink roses, the old pillowcases, with embroidery and tatting on the edge. My colors throughout my cabin, some are bright, some are moody. You have to know where your light comes through your window, or even the shades within each room. I love all textures. I love old dressers, vintage hats that I never wear, pictures of my mama, lavender hanging in little sachets, gifts that were given to me from beautiful subscriber friends. Old photos. There's a reason for each thing, each object. I love layers, so I love pillows and blankets on my bed, extra blankets and throws. I love pictures, photos that tell stories. The colors of my wall, it's a whitewash done in a green sage color. The Mennonite thought I was crazy. Why do I love these old pictures that tell such stories of different places? Like in Europe, in France. Maybe it's in my DNA, I don't know. Maybe it's my ancestors. I don't tend to ever go to the most popular modern farmhouse decor. It doesn't tend to make me happy. What makes me happy is what was and still is. And I bring that into my home because that's what makes me happy. And I want others that come into my home to feel that happiness too. I love to read, so I love to have a reading place, which is here by the window. I love for people to even read to me. Sometimes I'll say, Danny, can you read to me? If it's just from, something maybe he's reading from, or have him read to me out of the Bible. I love to be read to, just like a little child. And, I was thinking a while back, as many books as I have, I would love to do a video a couple times a month or maybe once a week, I don't know, just reading to y'all. Do y'all like to read and be read to? Let me know in the comments. Because I would love to sit and read to y'all out of the books that I've collected. The tall ceilings, the tin ceiling, it all comes together. And all the different textures and textiles that I love. From wood to metal. In the extra room, which I'm not done with, I'm still working on it, I'm also getting rid of a lot of stuff that I'm working on too. I am just going through things and just getting rid of it, which I've needed to do for years. I found this old metal headboard and I just love it. I have so many quilts that were gifted to me, that were made for me, that I've made myself, and that I've bought at flea markets and antique stores. Y'all remember a while back when I found this beautiful picture at a yard sale. It's one of my favorites now. My old rag doll that I made. The things that you see in my kitchen, most of it is nostalgic. Most of it was in someone else's kitchen years and years and years ago. They held it in their hands and used it for baking, for cooking, putting food on their table for their family. And that means a lot to me and what I love. From old dippers that they used for canning or for dipping cold water from the well bucket. Hmm?
So you say you might want to live out in the woods. This is leaves. And I've burned about 3 times this much already. It's so dry, I won't burn unless it's real early in the morning when things are damp or late at night. This pile right here come from just this spot right here. This is the back garden here, just over to that shed and over to the pump house. Them leaves come out of this spot. And as you can see in the trees, the leaves ain't all of them. There's several of them that's come off, but most of them, there's still a lot of them on there. But I got to keep it safe around the house in case a fire does come through. So I got to keep them blowed up and out of the way and get rid of them. Just one of them things you got to do in the fall. Guess what time of year it is? 22nd. Next Saturday, duck season opens. Thought I might show you the boat that I hunt out of that I own. It's inside the shop, so it's going to be kind of hard to. But it's a camo boat, but it's got a camo blind on it. A pop-up blind that come out of Nebraska. I've got her kind of camouflaged. It's going to be hard to see in here. Give you an idea though what it looks like. I've got this string on here right now, but this top here folds all the way down to here, and it's got a mechanism that you release it and this whole top will fly open. When you get ducks around, you might be ready to shoot. I'll show you what it looks like inside. Lighting's not real good, but that back there is a mud motor. But 3 people can hunt from inside the boat. This boat's got gun storage in it, and just a real nice boat to hunt out of when we're hunting in open water. This whole top, like I say, it pulls down, and then it'll go all the way back down. And of course the blind's up right now. When you're running out to get ready to go, all this folds down low where you can run. This is my handle, tiller handle. Got a tail on it, prop, motor's all camouflaged. Just really a nice rig. Thought you might be kind of interested in it. Some of you might be. If I was outside, I could get a better picture, but spend a lot of hours inside this thing. Can't wait. So what I've got here is an old style sharpening stone, round. It has a handle on it. You can crank it by hand, like so, which what I normally do. Or it's got a foot pedal. It's got a rod that you hook over here on the wheel itself, and you can sit here and work it. Sit here and work it by your foot and sharpen like this. But normally when I'm when I'm doing it, best thing to do is have a grandkid to turn it for you, or Miss Lori. But I usually do it by hand. And I use this stone mainly. It needs to be cut and flattened a little bit, but it does fine for what I'm doing. I've got, this is a Estwing, or Estwing, sorry, Estwing. This is American made. This is a little axe that I'm very fond of. It's all metal handle. You ain't got to worry about breaking a handle in it. And I use it a lot on limbs for trimming up. And you keep it sharp and it'll cut them off easy. It'll cut a pretty good sized limb. And I use it sometimes on our outdoor wood cooking stove. I'll split kindling with it. Just a really good little all-around axe, a little bigger than a hatchet. And I've hit some stuff with it, and I like to take this sandstone and just knock the roughness off of it. Just start making it all smoothed up. And I'll take either a hand stone or just a real fine file and just put just a little bit of edge on it. Main thing is, and you won't have to worry about getting this too hot, cranking it by hand. A lot of people have taken motors, little electric motors, and hooked to these, and they'll run that wheel through water, and it will keep the axe and your stone and keep it cooler, give it a little bit of lubrication. And a lot of them are doing it like that now. Of course, there's a lot more modern things nowadays, but this is pretty neat. This was, I believe, come out of Ohio, and Laura and I actually bought 2 of them, and you can tell it was hand built. And I think my daughter has got one of them. But you want to hold an axe at about a 20 degree, a 20 or 25 degree angle. This would be about a 90 degree, but about a 20-25 degree angle. And you want to work that axe back and forth, and then I'll reverse it and then work it back this way. But mainly all I like to sharpen like our garden hose and things like that. It's just, it's simple to do, and you don't have to overheat. If you overheat your metal, you take the temper out of the edge of it, and it would make it get dull quicker. And you also could do a 30 degree angle and have just a little longer lasting tip for sharpness on a little tougher tip on a 30 degree angle. But basically all I do, this has got some burrs on it, just some little light burrs. And all I'm going to do is hold it about a 20 degree. All I'm going to do is knock a little bit of the burr off of it. It just had some roughness on it. Now I'm going to go the other way. But, and that's already knocked, that sandstone's already knocked this edge. It's actually pretty sharp right now. And just a little bit of fine tuning, I could get it really sharp. You can sharpen as sharp as you want to get on this stone. And you might want to put a little water on it to wet, kind of a wet stone. But this was a thing that they use, and they still use it today. A lot of people do. Like I say, they hook motors to it, but pretty neat little, pretty good little sandstone. I use it quite a bit. And this axe right now would sharpen. It don't like much. It would cut pretty good right now. And if you do this very much, you'll know the angle you got on your axe by the way it sounds. You can kind of you can kind of hear. You got a ring to it. And you can kind of tell when the angle you got it. That's getting pretty sharp. But I thought this might give you an idea of what the old timers used a lot. These used to be sitting on porches all over the United States back in the day. And that's how they done a lot of things as far as sharpening things. And this stone here is still in pretty good shape. It's got a few little nicks in it. And I need to grease it. It's getting a little bit stiff. Makes a little bit of racket, but I can sit here and work this up and down and sit here and, with a little higher seat and sharpen it like that, but grandkids like to turn it. And I just thought I might give you a little bit of an idea of what they used to do. A lot of you are aware of it, I'm sure. A lot of you may have seen them sitting on your dad's or your grandpa and grandpa's porch. And you can take a pocket knife and wet that and work a pocket knife on this stone and sharpen a knife too. Well, I hope you enjoyed a little bit of history. We'll see y'all later.
I want to share a quick recipe with y'all real quick here before the end of the video. Y'all gonna love this recipe. I've got a 1/4 cup of water and I've got a Betty Crocker spice cake mix here. I'm gonna add 3 eggs. This is a pumpkin poke cake, P-O-K-E, poke cake. There are hundreds of recipes for different poke cakes. And I have made and ate a few, and every one of them that I've ate are always so good. Now, if you've got your own pumpkin puree that you've put up, that's wonderful. I've got 15-ounce can of pumpkin puree here. This is an organic puree that I buy from Thrive Market. It is some of the best pumpkin, and it's really not that expensive either. It's a good price for organic pumpkin. Really good stuff. I don't have any in the freezer right now, so Thrive Market. It's really good. 15 ounces. But like I was saying, there's so many recipes out there for different poke cakes. Using different cake mixes, flavors of cake mixes. The whole idea of a poke cake is baking your cake, poking holes in the top while it's still warm, and then using different ingredients like caramel, sweetened condensed milk, cream of coconut, puddings, and just different ingredients that will soak down into them holes, into that warm cake, that makes it oh so good. So this one here, besides it having the pumpkin and the spice cake, so you don't have to add a bunch of spices to it. Now, if you used a yellow cake, you'd want to put some cinnamon, a little bit of nutmeg or something in it, or just a pumpkin pie spice. But once we bake it and it comes out of the oven while it's still warm, we'll be poking holes in it, and we're going to be spreading caramel over the top while it's still warm, and that caramel is just going to ooze down into that cake and make it so good. Now this batter is a little bit on the thick side, but it's going to be moist. And what this cake reminds me just a little bit of is a gingerbread cake. It's kindly got the texture and the taste, not as much ginger, because you're going to be tasting that pumpkin and that pumpkin pie spice in there from that spice cake. It just all blends together and comes together really good, and this cake will be gone, y'all, in a heartbeat. Served on your Thanksgiving table or at Christmas or just any kind of get together this time of year when everybody's wanting to use pumpkin for every recipe they seem to be making. And pumpkin is very good for you. It's a good source of fiber, so it's a good thing to put in your diet. One of the things that I will be doing with some of my leftover pumpkins that I bought to decorate with is once fall and Thanksgiving's over, I'll be feeding them to the chickens. If we still had hogs, I'd be feeding them to the hogs. Okay, we're going to put this in a 350 oven. It's in a 9 by 13 baking dish, and it's probably going to take anywhere from 25 to 30 minutes. Okay, our cake is done. And while it's still warm, I'm going to take a fork and I'm just going to poke holes. I'm going to make sure that I poke holes all the way down the sides and in the middle so that all of this caramel gets down in that whole cake while it's still warm. Now I want to tell y'all what I done earlier. I tried to make, I was going to make homemade caramel instead of using store-bought. And it was doing good till I walked away and I smelled something burning and run in there and I'd burnt my caramel. Needless to say, I was not happy about that and the house stunk. But I had caramel in the pantry, so we're good. Never walk away from your pot when you're making caramel, y'all, because within a second it's going to turn and go the other way. It's just one of them things that happens. You walk away from something, you think you're okay, and no. I'm going to put quite a bit of caramel on here to make sure that it gets soaked in there and gets in all them holes. I'm just going to take a back of a spoon and I'm just going to spread it out and help it get down in there into them holes. Okay, this has got to cool completely before you put your whipped topping or your Cool Whip on it. You don't want to put it on there while it's still warm. Okay, let's spread our whipped topping over it. And we're going to sprinkle with some toffee bits. I get these at Walmart. They're Heath bits is what they are, and I could eat these by the handfuls on ice cream. They're so good. In the refrigerator it goes, and it is absolutely delicious.
Well, a good dog on the ground's better than 3 in the saddle, no matter where you're from. Been a many good dog, been a friend to a man, but Sam was the greatest one. He was hound of hounds, he was wonder of all walkers. He loved howling at the moon, he loved treeing that raccoon. Most of all, he was my best friend, and he's gone too soon. He was the run of the litter, but a mighty mean pup. Put him on a scent and never give up. Spent his nights on a porch chewing on a bare bone. Now he's underground, I'm all alone. Well, a good dog on the ground's better than 3 in the saddle, no matter where you're from.